Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can use Queen Charge Hybrid here at Townhall 12 to 3-star any base. So here is the army composition we are going to be jumping in today. Obviously we are starting off always with that Queen Charge, so that is why we are bringing those healers. We have the balloons as well, of course, just to test for any black bombs, and then we have the all important miners and Hog Riders. They are going to be in combination with the Grand Warden. This strategy is honestly incredibly strong, so let's jump in and break it down. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you're coming in with this strategy is identify a portion of the base that you're going to use your Queen Charge on. Now typically you're going to want to identify key buildings. These buildings, of course, the main one's going to be that Town Hall. It can do a lot of damage to your hogs and your miners if left unchecked. So typically if you have access into Queen Charging the Town Hall, this is what you're going to set out to do. This isn't always the case, but typically if you have a kind of anti-3 setup like this, with that Town Hall fairly walkable on the outside, you're probably going to want to go for it. Of course, if you have an anti-2-star with that Town Hall in the middle, you're going to have to do things slightly differently. Some of the other important buildings you want to try and potentially Queen Charge in towards, of course, is going to be the Eagle Artillery, the Clan Castle Troops, any Inferno Towers, and even the Archer Queen. These are a few things you can definitely look to try and take down with your Queen Charge, but like I said, in this particular example, the Town Hall is going to be too tempting all on the outside of that base. Now we're going to be bringing a few sneaky goblins just to help us set up that funnel. Of course, if you don't have access to sneaky goblins, you can even set up the funnel with a couple of baby dragons. Getting those super wall breakers in, again, you can still funnel, or you can open those wall sections, with regular wall breakers. But first things first, we're just looking to create a little bit of a funnel so the queen is going to go the direction we want her to. Of course, if your queen goes the wrong way, that's when you're going to start to encounter a few issues. But let's dive in. Of course, Cocoloons, like I said, those balloons are going to go out in front. Their job is to test for any seeking air mines, because we do not want to lose our healers too early on in the attack. We want to try and protect all 5 of them, and we'd rather lose a couple of balloons than our healers. Rage up your queen and your healers. You'll see we've got that rage spell encompassing both of the queen and the healers. You want to make sure you're doing that whenever your queen is taking significant damage. You definitely want to try and avoid losing her ability. Talking about abilities, we have the Frozen Arrow and the Invisibility Vial on our queen. You can swap out that Invisibility Vial for the Magic Mirror. That's also a really strong option, but the Invisibility Vial does a great job. The Frozen Arrow is the perfect piece of equipment when it comes to Queen Charging, so I would definitely recommend this if you have not already picked it up. I see Supercell have now made it available for your CWL medals, so if you haven't picked it up, you could potentially save them up there and grab them from there. King's equipment is going to be the Vamp Stash and the Earthquake Boots, and the Grand Warden is going to be the Eternal Tome with that Life Gem. Now some people do like to switch up the Life Gem for potentially the Rage Gem, but for me the Life Gem just gives that bonus HP to our hogs and our miners, just making them a little bit tankier as they push through the back end. But continuing on with this one, you'll see we did actually bring in a couple of Hog Riders. Not only did that help to keep our queen inside the base, but it also helped to lure out those Clan Castle Troops, because like I said at the start, you're looking to take down a couple of these important structures with your Queen Charge, but also more importantly the Clan Castle Troops, because your Clan Castle Troops can decimate your hogs and your miners when they come in if left unchecked. Of course, we have that poison spell just to help support us get through the CC. And the one thing I haven't really mentioned so far, you're also looking to create a funnel with your queen. Now it's hard sometimes to try and fully create that funnel, but you'll see we've completely cleared this bottom section of the base. We're then going to be using the Siege Barracks and the King over on this left hand side. This is going to then leave a pretty clear path kind of this direction through into the core, and you're going to want them to kind of swing around like this. Now it's not the end of the world where your queen ends up once you've taken down the section of the base you're looking for, but in this particular example you'll see she's going to deal with those Clan Castle Troops no problem at all, so we can now start thinking about getting our hogs and our miners in. You're always going to want to get those miners in first. They have a little bit more HP, and of course they have to go through all of the junk buildings first, unlike the Hog Riders, which are going to go straight on to the defenses. You're going to want to hold on to that Eternal Tome ability until the Hog Riders from your siege barracks join up with the rest of your troops, or you get under some really heavy fire from some of those core defenses, whether it be multi-target Infernos, the Eagle Artillery, or even some enemy heroes. You have those heal spells, so do not be scared to use them. Place them down when you start to come under, again, heavy fire. You can use it in great combination with your Eternal Tome ability. You can pop it. They are, of course, then invincible. You can use that heal spell to bring them all back up to full HP. Don't also be scared to use your hero abilities. You of course have that Queen ability, you can pop it in the core, give her a little bit of a boost, and you can use that King ability to speed up the funneling process. We do of course have the Earthquake boots on him. The Spiky Ball is also a fantastic option because he's basically just going to be creating a funnel. The Earthquake boots, yeah, they're going to get some nice damage, but honestly, they're not the most important equipment in this one. But hopefully that broke it down a little bit. We have two more examples, so let's jump in and we'll break them down as well. Alright, moving on to the second example. Again, a different base, but we've got the Townhall towards the outside, so we're looking to identify where we can get the value from the Queen charge. In this one, again, I think we're going to be charging in towards that Townhall section. The clan castle should be fairly accessible for us to lure out and then deal with it with our Queen charge. We also have a multi-target Inferno, potentially could be snipeable from our Queen. So let's go ahead and play this one and we will jump into it. Kicking off proceedings, opening up that wall section, yep, creating that funnel with a few sneaky goblins, so it does look like we are going to be pushing straight in towards this town hall section. Need to be careful dropping down those healers if there are air defenses close to the outside of the base. You can see we did drop them just out of range of this air defense, so we should not have any problems. We did have to drop down an early rage spell because we of course have that Expo and a couple of Teslas popping onto our Queen, but we're going to be able to push through here regardless. We actually get a balloon coming on it through. That's going to help us get through that archer tower just while our Queen was tanking for it. Keeping an eye on the rest of the base, you guys can see the Queen's pretty much already done her job. She's now begun to lure out those clan castle troops, so we can now get going with the rest of our army. Siege barracks, again in combination with that king, going to be coming in from that top right hand side of the base. Their job just to walk all the way down here and create that funnel. The good thing about the siege barracks as well, of course, you're going to have those wizards continually coming out of there. They can sometimes snipe over the walls like you can see here, just help clear out a couple of those inner buildings. Unfortunately here our Queen hasn't quite played ball, and these things do sometimes happen. If your Queen goes the wrong direction, don't panic. Just keep executing the attack like you would as normal. You're going to want to still protect that Queen if you can, but if your healers do transfer over like they have here, don't stress about it. Sometimes a healer transfer can actually be really beneficial because those healers are going to continually heal up those hogs and those miners. Yes, they may get sniped off by a couple of air defenses, but that's not the end of the world. So in this particular one, we were looking for a Queen to continue pathing down here and looking for her to take down this multi-target Inferno, but unfortunately we get this massive split. But this strategy is actually so strong that it's not the end of the world for us. We're just going to continually use our spells and use our hero abilities as and when we need them. You'll see we actually raged up there in the core. We're going to be freezing and healing through this multi-target Inferno on the back end. Luckily for us, there was only a lava hound and a few archers in that clan castle. If there had been something like a dragon, an electro dragon, a super dragon, anything like that, that really could have caused us some issues, but regardless, we are still going to be able to push on through this one. Swag our king ability, swag our queen ability as well. So this one is a great example of showing even if your queen charge doesn't quite go your way, as long as you're able to get a little bit of a value and a little bit of a funnel, you should still be able to pull in that 3-star. Don't panic, use those spells on your hogs, on your miners, and even on your heroes, and you're going to be bringing in lots more 3-stars just like this one. So the last example we'll jump in and take a look at, we're not going to be charging our queen in towards that town hall, so let's jump in and take a look. So before we hop into this final example, I would love it if you guys could go ahead and subscribe to us here at the Barracks. We are pushing towards that 500 subscriber mark, and it would be awesome if you guys could join the team. But here we go, let's jump in and take a look at this one. So in this particular one, we're actually going to be queen charging in over from this left hand side, looking to take down that Eagle Artillery, potentially the single target Inferno. The queen and that all important clan castle. It is honestly really important to try and get that clan castle if you can, and we do need to be careful going into this entry. We have a plenty of cannons in there, we have the X-bows, we have those wizard towers, so we have to rage up that queen pretty much straight away. Again, going to be getting those Kokoloons in, testing for any of those seeking air mines. That baby dragon just going to be helping out with the funnel down here at that bottom section a little bit. Remember, you do have those super wall breakers, which of course can come in just like this one to open up those wall sections. We get a partial CC lure, but that's not the end of the world. Eagle artillery should hopefully go down fairly soon. We're going to be bringing in the headhunter there, unfortunately slightly too early. We were hoping just to hold off on that headhunter for a little bit longer because of course we have the double, in fact the triple with that Grand Warden over there, enemy heroes, so we do need to be careful when it comes to those heroes. They can do a significant amount of damage in combination against your queen. So that's why we bring the headhunter. Unfortunately, slightly mistimed on that one. You'll see funnel this time is going to be created over on the right hand side with our siege barracks and our king, and this means our troops should kind of path this direction and then in towards the town hall. We're going to hold on to that eternal tome ability and a heal spell for when we get into that town hall compartment. Queen unfortunately held up for a little bit right here. We're going to drop down that poison spell just to help us get through some of these remaining clan castle troops. First of those heal spells going to be coming down right there, helping protect our hogs and our miners through that multi-target inferno. Single target inferno does lock onto our queen, but with the help of that frozen arrow, we are not going to have any problem on pushing through that. Eternal tome ability does get popped off slightly earlier than I would have liked, but luckily for us, that heal spell should be enough to get us through that giant bomb, or the giga bomb, should I say, of the town hall, freezing up that multi-target inferno here on the back end. Queen, unfortunately, just being the OP wall breaker she loves to be on these queen charges, but we have plenty left up here on the back end, and it's going to be another beautiful triple. So if you guys do enjoy these types of videos, make sure you go ahead and like the video and let me know down in the comments if you have tried out Queen Charge Hybrid here at Townhall 12. For me, it's a personal favourite strategy. I started using it at Townhall 10 and I used it all the way up to kind of Townhall 15. So honestly, I love to make videos on this strategy. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.